It really is. And I would say fear is almost like it gives birth to hiding, and it gives birth to secrecy. And it makes it easier and easier not to have that level of communication. And, I think at the very beginning of that kind of communication, Derek, I think you can say, look, I do want to share some things with you about what I've been thinking and feeling about myself and our relationship and how it's going. But I also want you to know that I really fear that because of the reaction you may have. And I would like to know that you really want me to be open and honest in our relationship. And by the way, in counseling or spiritual direction, that's one of the very first things I always ask people. I say, look, the only thing I'm asking is just be open and honest. That's all I ask. Be open and honest. And if then there's we've had a breakdown in our relationship, our communication, our sex life, our intimacy, our trust, just feeling honored and respected in our relationship. I feel like there's been such a breakdown, and I'm in pain. And I just want you to know that I'm in pain. And I'm not asking you to fix me, but you can certainly help create the conditions where I will feel a whole lot better about our relationship. And I think that's where some wisdom comes in, maybe a third person to actually teach some of those skills. And then you come alongside and say, all right, I really want to be able to share with you some of my deepest longings and fears. And I also would like you to know that it's really nice when you respond to my initiation and that we develop that. I mean, the whole idea of intimacy comes from a Latin word inimus, which means no barriers. There's no blocks in the way. And, and you can say, I really want to have an intimate relationship with you, but there's blocks in the way. There's barriers in the way, fear. And there can be any number of things that block our communication. And again, I go back to that seamless interaction, the give and take, the back and forth. And how can we live in this relationship successfully and really be open and honest with one another and really make it our priority to create for each other the conditions, to create for one another the conditions whereby each of us will better fulfill God's intended purpose and to become better than we could have ever become alone. That's an ongoing process, right?
Right.
How can I be in your life? How can you be in my life intentionally over time so that we both can better fulfill God's intended purpose to be better together than we could have ever been alone?
Yeah.
That's true intimacy.
Yeah.
We push on it a little bit more, ask to get more detail.
Good. Well, one of the things that's at least this is my own experience, and so I like to think it might be shared by others. And this is particularly within a specific Christian context.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that fear of being honest, of expressing thoughts and feelings. And if you've come of age in a culture that repressed anything having to do with normal physical sexuality, right? The development of hormones, all the things that happens in our bodies. But because it is so taboo in certain Christian circles, that bleeds into our adult life and our relationship, our marriage. And, it can show up seemingly out of the blue, but it's really a manifestation of something that has been built in long before we met the person we love. And I'm curious, in those circumstances, A, what kind of counsel do you provide, and B, what kind of retraining can be done for a person to feel comfortable?
That's such an important question. And you're right. That's probably going to be a question that that many of the listeners are going to deal with. Just remember that when you come into a relationship, you come in with a full complement of life. You've had your generational family of origin, birth order, personality, choices you've made, all of those dynamics, the you messages of your childhood from the big people in your life that became the I messages of your adulthood. And we bring all of that into a new relationship, and the person that you are in the relationship has had all of that accumulation as well. And then you get married. Like, go figure. Of course, it's going to be difficult. I mean, when the scripture says, great is the mystery of marriage, that's the understatement of the year. It's a mystery. How can two people with these very divergent backgrounds actually live together in marriage? That is a miracle. It's a miracle. And the fact that anybody can actually make it is a miracle. I mean, we have actually had people that come to Emerge, and they say, well, we've been married 20 years and we've never had a fight. We just look at them and say, you probably haven't done anything else very interesting either. And the fact is that of course you're going to have these, I mean, you're drawn to each other. Oftentimes that person is different to complement you, but then we spend usually the first 7 years trying to change that other person into our own image. That's the one thing. And then there's all these expectations about sexuality and frequency and types of, how we express our sexuality towards each other. And, everything from the clashing of personalities. I mean, it's amazing to me that couples make it in the first place, but it can be done. It really can.